Good morning, everyone. This is Financial Literacy 101. And today I just want to basically do a commentary about the power of investing. I know a lot of times we get into our stock reviews. I give you guys numerous amount of stocks to go over. But I just want to kind of encourage you guys to continue to investing. I know there's a lot of things that's going on in the world. There's a lot of distractions. There's a lot of news. There's just a lot of things in general going on with your personal life, your professional life, and your political life, whatever it may be. But you can't take your eyes off the prize. You can't stop investing. That's one of the most things and most powerful things that you can ever do, not only for yourself, but for your generational wealth. So one of the most powerful things of investing is not just breaking down all the analytics and statistics and details and financial news, but some of the encouraging things that assist people in their everyday walk with investing, with everyday walk in investing, is when you invest that $10, when you invest that $100, and that $100 becomes $150 in a matter of months, in a matter of weeks. That is the power of investing. So just being an intelligent human being, that should tell you, you should invest more money. You should invest more money more frequently, okay? And I'm keeping my eyes on the road. I know you don't see my hands on the wheel because it drives itself. And that is what investing is about. A lot of times you can set up investment portfolios that drive themselves. Yes, you put your money. I was going to talk about a BlackRock ETF this morning. I forgot the exact name of the BlackRock ETF that I'm essentially investing in, and unfortunately, it's not in Robinhood. It's not in WeBull. It's not in M1 Finance. It's not even in Stash. So just like Vanguard, right? They have these what you call Admiral shares, okay? Admiral shares and Vanguard. You have these ETFs and BlackRock. You have these ETFs and iShares, and a lot of these particular ETFs are like $20-$30. But for the past, let's say, 20-30 years, their return has been 60%. And this one I'm talking about those novice, those beginners who just got involved in investing. I want to keep encouraging you guys to invest, but maybe you need to go and get yourself an account like Ameritrade or Charles Schwab or what's another one, Fidelity or something like that, in order for you guys to invest in these particular ETFs that are not listed, okay, that are not listed on platforms like Robinhood and WeBull, which I use Robinhood all the time, okay? Now, I want to make you guys very aware of crypto. I do have money in crypto. I have about, I got 3,000 or 4,000 over in Coinbase. And I also have money, in some Bitcoin on my WeBull. So I'm just going to say roughly I have around 10 grand in cryptocurrency altogether, okay, about 10 grand. Now, the tricky thing about crypto, which a lot of you have been very reluctant to invest in crypto, is that at any given moment, crypto can be wiped away because essentially it's all digital. Well, let me tell you this, and this is going to be a very counterintuitive, contradicting conversation, is that the regular investments that you have, unless it's not something tangible like land or property, it's all digital. Like no one is going to call in their Wall Street broker with pieces of paper saying that you have this amount of shares. Now, we know that investing is owed as 1531. Belgium has been credited with the first form of a stock market. I mean, and that's argumental, right? Whoever want to say who came first, the chicken or the egg, but it really doesn't matter. But what matters is if you look at any old school movies, and they're investing and they have their investing tickets at Wall Street, and people are putting in bids. All of it has been electronic, because you never ever see pieces of the company that you own unless you're owning, okay, unless you're owning millions of shares, meaning that you're part of the board of directors. You're making decisions, okay? Those things are tangible, okay? Intellectual property, meaning when you're sitting at the board, you bought into this company, you own 1/3 of the particular company at 5 million shares. And so your decision, you have a vote. These things are very, very important, ladies and gentlemen. They're very important, okay? They're very, very important because as you accumulate more shares and those shares have dividends, this is how you make some money. But if you don't understand the power of investing, then you won't understand this concept. Now, let me tell you some of the dangers of investing, which a lot of people don't understand because this is power too. As you notice, this last year has been very volatile in the cryptocurrency market and as well as the traditional stock market. And when it comes to the traditional stock market, you've heard of that group, Wall Street Bets, have been essentially controlling the stock market with about 3 to 5 shares. 3 to 5 stocks. Most likely AMC and GameStop, to name a couple. Okay, they also played around with Nokia as well. But when it came to those two stocks, they were all essentially millionaires already, but they became even richer because they knew how to short squeeze stocks. And they communicated publicly on a public blog like Reddit. That's what the Wall Street, and I went in with my little measly $1,000 and I made $400 off of that based upon the information that I was reading. Now, you'll hear a lot of quirks and ain'ts within the Wall Street Bets group, but essentially they're working in tandem. They're working as a network to squeeze the stock market so they can make financial gain. So information is powerful. But let me tell you this, on the flip side of what I was saying before. I remember growing up how no one in my neighborhood, in Southeast DC, no one in my neighborhood ever invested. They never invested. They said, I'm not putting my money in. I don't know where it's going. And it made a lot of sense at the time. And it still does today. Here's the contradiction. I'm telling you about the power of investing, about the amount of money that you can make each and every day, each and every month, each and every year by the power of investing. I'm a walking, living proof that power investing does work and it does help. Here's the flip side. A lot of people are talking about how, and I'm not putting on my tinfoil kufi, but I will say this. Cryptocurrency, as well as traditional stock investing, is all electronic. I even, with myself, of understanding how the economy works, can understand at any given moment, any federal entity, any entity that is controlling the network of the platform can literally unplug their systems, and your money is wiped away. Now, if you guys didn't see my broadcast on Monday night, I had a sister named Satori on with me, and part of the video is about the only real tangible currency in America, one, is silver. And I've been telling you guys to buy silver, buy silver, buy silver, because that is another form of investing, okay? That is another form of investing as well. Number two, I think you should still invest because that is profitable as well. The traffic is getting a little crazy, so got to put my hands on the wheel, and I'm looking a lot more straight here because this guy's weaving in and out. But it's important. A lot of you like, okay, if I invest in silver, how do I get a return? How do I make a return? It's just like regular investing. You buy tangible silver, you hold on to that silver, and that silver over the course of time, as that precious metal becomes more rare, it multiplies, just like a stock. See, I try to teach you guys one of the most important things of investing when you're investing in a stock. And I'm going to use a popular stock, even though a lot of popular stocks won't make you money, but this popular stock could make you money because of the volatility, and that's Tesla, right? And I'm not promoting Tesla on this particular video because I give you stock reviews on Tesla. But let's take, for instance, Tesla. And we're not even talking about the company right now. We're talking about the stock in its entirety. As you guys invest in Tesla and more people invest in Tesla, there's a certain volume of a stock. Picture yourself in a grocery store and you're going there to get paper towels, right? And the paper towels are running out. Like you see 2 paper towels left, and these paper towels are worth more because there's less of them. That's called scarcity. The scarcity of a stock is what raises the stock price, which makes your stocks that you bought more valuable. If you notice, during the height of the pandemic, all sorts of companies that never dealt with baby wipes and toilet paper and paper towels started to make them. You know why? Because of scarcity. There was a set number of companies that dealt in this market. And when that got wiped out, other companies like, oh, we can make money. Let's start making toilet paper, paper towels, and baby wipes and hand sanitizer. And you see that. And so a lot of these companies who wasn't doing so well, they started to do very well because they started going to another market. So scarcity decreased. And so the prices of those things started to maintain where they were. So this is important because at first, if you notice, when you guys first started going out getting toilet paper, this, that, and the other, and the shelves were simply wiped empty, what did people do? Oh, you can only buy one. And then if you notice, they started to do price gouging. They started to do price gouging because of scarcity. They knew that the less there is, the more valuable it is. This is a direct correlation and example of the power of investing. But it's twofold. There's a certain duality and dynamic of understanding investing versus, oh, let me go cop these new shoes. Let me go cop this new shirt. When I hear people tell me they don't have money to do this, they don't have money to do that, you know the first thing I do? I look at them. I look at what they're wearing. I look at their watch. I look at their shoes. I'm like, well, you're wearing about $300. You're wearing about $300. Without my watch, I'm probably wearing $20. What this hat was free from my buddy over at the Stephen Gardner channel. Stephen Gardner, good buddy of mine, he gave me this hat for free. Thank you, Stephen. This silicone ring that my wife gave me, about 10, $15. I told her, don't even get me a gold or silver ring, babe. I don't want it. Just give me this. You can wear the diamonds and pearls. I'm okay. I'm a man. I'm going to be doing all sorts of things. Just give me the silicone one. Don't give me the rubber one. Give me the silicone one. It's smoother. So that's what I want you guys to understand. If you're walking around with expensive clothing, if you're walking around with an expensive phone, then guess what? You have enough money to invest. Some people are like, oh, well, I don't know where to go. Tune into Ross World. I give you stock reviews Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And for beginners, I always tell you, put your money in bonds and ETF and index funds all the time. This is the power of investing. This is the investing that you guys should understand all the time. Good morning, minor to major. Nice to see you, brother. Minor says Tesla in Austin becoming the Silicon Valley of the South. Indeed it is. See, and this is what I'm telling you. So we got Tesla coming to Austin, and we also have Cisco. Now, here's the problem with Texas, ladies and gentlemen. I've been down here a year, and I'm loving Texas. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm from Washington, D.C., and I'm absolutely loving Texas. But I'm gonna give you some insight. Just like any other major city, right now I'm in rush hour. Stop and go, stop and go, stop and go, stop and go traffic. If you can find you a virtual job wherever you live at, and they say, hey, we're never coming back into the office, this is simply 100% virtual job, I would definitely tell you to move to Texas. But if you got to get up and drive into Dallas, you got to get up and drive in Houston, you better find another job. Now, I'm going to a dental appointment, okay? You know, I work solely virtual, so this is not an everyday occurrence to me. It looks like I'm going to be late. My baby told me leave at 7. I end up leaving around 7:20. And the traffic, I'm scheduled to be there at 8:24. Doesn't look like it's going to be there. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to encourage, inspire, and motivate you to invest. Now, I know you're saying he's been very contradictory. Yes, because here's the thing. There's a part of my intellectual mind that tells me we're living in a new world order. You see a lot of things going on in politics, and I want you guys to make a connection to economics. Now, take for instance, right? And I was thinking about doing a video on my buddy's channel, the Black Post. If you guys are not familiar with the Black Post, okay, go over and subscribe to the Black Post. He posts his videos every now and again, but it's some really good content. And if you guys are not familiar with the Black Post, there's a black fist that's called the Black Post with a black envelope and a white envelope. Go and subscribe to that channel. But I want to do a video, and I'm going to do a little bit right here, called Pan-Africanism is Dead. Pan-Africanism is dead, okay? Yes, we have brothers and sisters from the continent as well as the Caribbean that ride for Black Americans, that ride for American Indians who look like me. That's right, American Indians that look like me, not like no other people. I'll just keep it that way. If you know your indigenous and aboriginal roots. I'm going to tell you why Pan-Africanism is dead. Because when I look through history, and I look at Marcus Garvey, who was from Jamaica, he came over to America trying to connect us, trying to bind the soul, spirit, and connection of people, of melanated people around the world. But when I started looking at Tory, what's her name, Tory Burke, when I started to look at Candace Owens, when I started to look at a Stephen A. Smith, when I started to look at all of these melanated people from the Caribbean as well as the continent of Africa, just like Akon, and they speak out against Black Americans, when they speak out against American Black Indians in a form of a monolith, meaning, oh, I came over here, I did very, very well. Yeah, they will let a few of you over here. They will allow a few of you to be in positions to talk down to Black Americans. Yeah, they will do that. And that's why, what's his name, Kwame Brown was going ham on Stephen A. Smith. Because this guy has been playing basketball for over 20 years, and you still putting your name in his mouth. I know I'm going somewhere with this. You're like, dude, this talk about the power of investing. This is investing. Because we think we have been investing in Pan-Africanism by some ways through Dr. Umar Johnson, but it hasn't done nothing for us. See, if you notice, a lot of them, not all, come over here and they benefit from our movements. They benefit from the civil rights movement. They benefit from our ancestors, our lineage of all the blood that they've shed, all the marching that they did. Yeah. They benefit from coming over here, but when they come over here, they get in positions and they start to coon. They start to dance a jig. They start to be those Sambos that you know. And you don't ever think about why is he so against Black American? When you start looking at TMZ, the Shade Room, I want you to look at who are the owners and founders of them. See, the problem is, people, we just think that if people look like us, they're for us. No. You when you go over to certain places and you talk to certain people, they have a name for you. They have a name for Black Americans, like a kata. Okay, they have names for you. They tell their people, when you go to America, do not associate, do not deal, do not be in business with Black Americans. They come over here, they team up solely with white people. They team up solely with Asian people. The same people who, as a whole, not individually, I don't want anybody to take this out of context, use group discrimination and group racism to keep us in a marginalized position. They keep us in a marginalized position. And this is what we're not understanding, because when we're looking at a figure, when we're looking at a face, we see a Black face. We see a melanated face, And we don't understand why these people are not speaking up for us, why they're not trying to help the communities. And I don't agree with everything she said, but remember Kimberly Klacik when she was walking down the streets of Baltimore and she said, hey, here's your Democratic hopefuls. Look at your shambles and rubbish of a city. That was just one Democratic city. That was just one Democratic city. If you go to majority of the Democratic cities, they all ran down. That's what I'm talking about. Not the state, but the cities. When you start looking at the mayors, and you're like, well, what type of mayor is here in this particular city? Oh, it's a Democratic mayor. Oh, it's a Republican state, but it's a Democratic mayor. But when you start looking at the Republican cities, they're built up. They're really built up. So we have to understand how when we invest our time and energy in certain things, and let me just tell you, in my opinion, when I look at what's going on with Afghanistan, when I see what's going on with the Haitians down in Del Rio, Texas, is around, listen to this, family. You can look this up for yourself if you're not aware. There's over 15,000 Haitian migrants. 15,000 Haitian migrants in Del Rio, Texas, living under a bridge. They've kind of rounded up, and now they are doing a mass exodus. And Joe Biden saying, we're flying them. He said it. He said it. We're flying their butt back to Haiti. They're doing 8 planes a day, sending these migrants back to Haiti, back to a country that's in shambles. How do I feel about that? How do I feel about people who look like me being flown back to a country that is just in shambles because of earthquakes, in shambles because the world has marginalized Haiti, because them fighting back those French enslavers back in 1804? How do I feel about that? And how do I feel about them bringing Afghans over here, over 100,000 Afghans, and dropping them off in different cities in America and offer them $2,300 per person while giving them jobs and opportunities? How do I feel about that? Well, what I just said is Pan-Africanism is dead. I don't feel anything about it anymore. I used to feel so strongly that people that look like me, no matter where they're from, they should be able to do well. But I started to think, when we let a lot of these immigrants / migrants over here, they undermine Black Americans all the time. They undermine us. They get on Twitter, they get on social media, and you'll see African women. I'm not speaking of all Africans. I'm not speaking of all Caribbeans. Okay, so don't take it out of context. But there's a lot that come over here and talk about Black American men. They want to marry their white daddies, the same people who colonized them. Yeah, they come over here and they start their business in their small community. Oh, this is little Haiti. This is little this. And when you try to go inside those neighborhoods, they treat you like you're a foreigner in their own country that you are indigenous to. They come over here from the countries that they left in shambles instead of building it up. Instead of building it up, they flee over here, get trinkets, symbolisms, and start to build based upon our laws that civil rights actually helped to put in place to have some sort of equality. They use that, and then they undermine you and they talk bad about you. And they make rooms like TMZ and they exploit Black culture. They exploit Black culture in the shade room, in the roots, and all of these. Look at the people who are behind them. You will start to see that, oh, they're from the Caribbean. They're from the continent of Africa. And I'm not saying that Caribbeans and people from the continent of Africa are all coons and sambos. No, we have some people who ride for us, who have a direct connection, who understand our struggle and essentially speak up for us and don't undermine us. But there are some people who are in place in political position. You guys remember I think it was either, was it Minnesota or I forgot. It was either Minnesota or Milwaukee. It was somewhere, I forgot. But it was a black Nigerian, okay, a black Nigerian guy running for governor. And he said, if I was made governor, we wouldn't have Black History Month. I will take away Black History Month in this state. I think it was in Missouri. I forgot what state it was, but he was his family lineage and him was from Nigeria. And he's coming over here. He's coming from what? The continent of Africa, where majority of the people there are melanated, but he's coming over to America saying that he is no longer going to have Black History Month. He wants to have American History Month. He wants to have American History Month. Excuse my English. Motherfucker, are you crazy? American History Month? We have that every month anyway. But see, he didn't talk about Hispanic Heritage Month. No. He didn't talk about that. He didn't talk about Asian Pacific Islander Month. No, he didn't talk about that. Him that looks like us does not ride for us, does not support us. He wants to wipe away Black History Month and have American History Month. This is why we need to understand the power of investing when it comes to your time and money. Time, money, attention. All these are different energies that we exude and that we exalt, and it gives us no return. Percy says, I'm done with Candace. When she said that Derek Chaden didn't give a fair trial. They gave the Afghan each one about $3,000 to get on their feet. Exactly. See, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. I know I told you it's going to be sort of a contradicting conversation because I don't care about neither one. But the problem is the one that's going to affect Black America the most is the Afghans. See, if you notice, if you come over here and you look like me, your chances are almost slim to none if you don't do group economics. Okay, because a lot of us are getting on code. Black Americans, American Indians, Native Black Indigenous people, we are getting on code with each other. See, we don't need to practice tribalism like other groups. That's the problem, right? We are slowly, what I'm seeing is a rise in tribalism in Black America. What am I talking about? We can't be like these other folks, people. We can't. Pan-Africanism is dead. And the reason why it's dead is because we have our own issues. They have their own issues. But for some reason, we can't find common ground. It's because of tribalism. See, they have that tribalism over there. I'm this, I'm that. We're the same countrymen, but we're from a different tribe. We can't seem to work together, even though we look alike, but we have different names and we live on different sides of the country. I don't get it. And Black Americans, for some reason, we're now practicing tribalism. How are we doing that? We've been doing it for quite some time, but now there's a rise of it. What am I talking about? If you're a Christian and Black and you're a Muslim and Black, they clash, right? Because we're using our religion as a connection to our people. No, that's the issue. Whatever you believe should be whatever you believe. Then we have, I'm Hebrew, I'm Jewish, and you're Black. That's fine. But why is that separating you from your people because of what you believe? That I don't understand. Let me carry on. Oh, I'm a Moor. I am a Native Black American. I'm indigenous. I'm this. I'm Native. Okay, you can be whatever you want to be. But why is that stopping us from joining in? Why is that stopping us from being on code? Why is that stopping us from having an agenda and a plan that all of us can essentially agree to and support? And this is what I hate the most. Why in the hell, if you do not agree what most people want, like, let's take, for instance, the most controversial topic right now is reparations, right? You got these Black people out here doing very, very well. Oh, I don't believe we should have reparations because I pulled myself up from my bootstraps. And nah, brother, you were vetted. You were vetted. You were vetted as a coon long before you knew you was a coon. They knew that you could be coerced, tricked, and manipulated and changed. And now you're saying there's no racism. There's no discrimination. Yes, it is. I want you to start going to those neighborhoods. See, it's easy to walk outside your door and look around and look at your manicured lawns, look at your neighbors, say hi, and say there's no racism because you live in a mixed neighborhood. Yes, that's very, very easy. But what I want you to do is go to Southeast DC before gentrification. I want you to start going to the Black Barrels of New York before gentrification. I want you to start going to New Jersey. I want you to start going to parts of Missouri and tell me that there is no discrimination, redlining, marginalization. I want you to tell me in racist bias and over policing of neighborhoods. I want you to tell me that then. That is what I want you to tell me for you coon mofos out there who think there's no discrimination, racism, and racial bias. Yes, there is. And the thing that I hate about it is that people from other countries that look like us come over here and undermine us. And some of us are fooled and tricked because they look like us. And the only thing we didn't do is do a Google search and see where this motherfucker is from. Where's this lady from? Candace Owen. Oh, she is from the Caribbean. Wait a minute. Why is Stephen A. keep talking about Kwame Brown and he hasn't been playing basketball for 20 years? Now he's talking about his family. Now he's talking about this. He is from the Caribbean. Why is Akon saying, oh, we should start talking about racism and we should start talking about this? It's not a matter of fact of making racism the hallmark of every conversation, but as long as white supremacy is in power, we need to at least understand and recognize it. And that is a problem that we're not doing. We're not recognizing. And see, it's a system. It's an intangible system that affects you very physically, that affects you mentally, that affects you very spiritually. So tribalism with Black Americans, with melanated people who are soil, we can't let it be. I don't care if you are born from the Science Temple. I don't care if you're a Christian. I don't care if you label yourself a Hebrew Israelite. I don't care what you essentially coin yourself, don yourself in. The point is, can we agree on 2 or 3 things like other people? See, we can learn things from other races. We can learn things from Asians. We can learn things from white people. When it comes to business, when it comes to profitability, they start to put their differences aside. Oh, well, I'm from Scottish descent. Well, I'm Irish. You know, there was a big thing back in the day, but can we do business? Yeah, we can do business. We can do business. Yeah, we can do business. And people keep telling me, oh, it is not like that anymore. Now, I'm going to give you my own anecdotal experiences because when I was in the state of Washington, there's a lot of interracial dating. I'm not against what you want to do with yourself, with anybody else. I'm not against it. But these females that I ran into who were dating white or were dating white men, and this is my anecdotal experience. I know this doesn't occur every time, everywhere, but I was very shocked when they started to break up and the other one got divorced. They said going through the divorce, doing the breakup and trying to get child support, etc., that these white men were calling their babies little niggas. It's not funny, but it's funny. It's not funny, but it's funny. See, a lot of times, and I'm not saying all about women, a lot of times it don't matter where you're from, melanated women, the continent, Caribbean, or here in America, or even the UK, it don't matter where you're from. You think that your relationship is going to be better with Zaddy. I can't say it is or it isn't. I can't. I don't have enough information, statistics. I don't have enough to say it is. But from my anecdotal experience, the 2 that I have, They start calling their kids all sorts of different things and don't want to even have nothing to do with her or the kids. But I'm pretty sure there's positive stories out there as well. But that's kind of the chance you take because you think the grass is greener on the other side. You better listen to that Chris Brown song. You keep thinking the grass is green on the other side. But this is about the power of investing. And it has more to do, okay? It has more to do with just your money. It has to do with your time and attention. Because these are certain energies that you need to understand. We need to be part of your 7 chakras or not. You better open up your pineal gland and start to see with your third eye. You better start seeing what's going on. That everybody that looks like you are not for you. Because listen, why would I be in support of foreign coons when we have our own domestic coons? Can I say that again? Why would I be in support of foreign coons when we have our own domestic coons? Why would I do that? Why would I? What Pan-Africanism is dead. We're the only people, Black Americans, Black Native Indians, we're the only ones talking about Pan-Africanism, about joining and connecting with our brothers and sisters in Caribbean Africa. When have you heard a larger movement than in this country than in their country? Then I ask them all the time, and I have some people I've met over the course of time. They understand what we've been through over here, and I understand what they've been through over there with colonization, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And there's an understanding that this family, why are you guys coming to America? Ask yourself that question. Why are they coming to America where Africa is literally the richest country, the richest continent in the world? Why? Why are they coming to America? Some of you are going to say, oh, because they're poor there and they're shambles and they don't have. Listen, America, the Western world gets all of their resources, majority of their resources from Africa, from different countries of Africa. Africa is rich. Africa has copper, gold, oil, natural gas, diamonds, rubies. I mean, you name it, Africa has it. Africa has it. Why are they coming over here? Because they are allowing people from different countries to exploit them. And what the people of that country will say, is that it's the government. That is the government. Well, the last time I checked, you can change the government. Oh, it's not that easy. Yes, it is. Let me tell you something. I'm not going to say that. Nope, I'm not going to say that. That's going to be taken the wrong way. I was going to say something about the whole Afghan Taliban thing. I'm not going to say that. But what I will say this is, if the people of a country know there's an issue, just like here in America, we have put on our boots, we've gotten up our signs, and we've marched and protest. Because at the end of the day, the government is nothing without the people. At the end of the day, the government is nothing without the people. You have all of the resources. You have the very metal, you have the very material that's in every cell phone in the world right there in Kenya, right there in Tanzania, right there in Uganda. See, I've done my research, family. I don't give you receipts. I give you invoices so you can break down and detail everything I'm telling you. It's verifiable and you can go back and check it. But see, they come over here because we have built this great nation. See, we built this great nation. Our forefathers, our ancestors have cultivated and built and molded all of these cities that you see. Because if you go back, if you wipe away Tulsa, Oklahoma, the one Black Wall Street that everybody pumps up, and you look up the Black Wall Street, the other Black Wall Street, look that up, the other Black Wall Streets, you will see we had Black business districts and Black Wall Streets all over the place. And this is after slavery. We didn't build the entire nation. our forefathers. The civil rights movement. We fought against everything. Segregation, Jim Crow, the black codes. How do you think those other amendments came into the Constitution, 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment? It's because of us. We are those descendants. We have the power. We have the energy. And so when people who come over here, who was never part of that lineage, they don't carry that energy. They don't understand what they've been through. They don't understand what our ancestors been through. And then we're direct descendants, and we have some of that energy that have been passed down through our loins, and we feel what our ancestors felt when we are being discriminated upon. They come over here from all these other countries. They blend in because they can skin in. You see what I'm talking about? They blend in because they can skin in. They look like us. Their hair is like us. They learn our culture. They're rapping and singing. They no. Hip hop was made up by a Caribbean guy. What? Come on, man. Stop it. And a lot of us, we get turncoat. You know how we get turncoat? That means a traitor? Because we have friends from the Caribbean. We have friends that are African. And that's perfectly fine. But you got to let them know who you are and what you won't stand for. And what you won't stand for. And this is what we need to understand, family, that everybody that look like you ain't for you. You got to understand the power of investing with your dollar. If you notice, they come over here and they separate themselves. They practice the same thing they did in the Caribbean. They practice the same thing they did in Africa. They are still practicing tribalism. They're still practicing tribalism with you. You think you had a friend. You think you had a connection. You think you had a line to go back and forth and go to Africa and build businesses. Don't you know there's a lot of melanated Americans who went over to Africa now are coming back, thinking that they were more safe with people that look like them? But what they don't understand is they have tribalism in Africa. What tribe are you from? What's your name? Oh, my name is Daniel Johnson. Oh, you're American. So you don't even have a tribe over here. You don't even have nobody to protect you. People's homes are getting broken into, and granted, that can happen in America. Don't get me wrong. But this government, this system that melanated people help to build is a lot more stable justice system, not much, than those countries over there. If that makes any sense. And then you can take your own experience. There's plenty of people, Zambia, Gambia, Ghana, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, they're living good lives over there. But there's been a lot of stories coming out about the family from Detroit that got killed over in Ghana. There's a few couples from Zambia who are moving back to America because their place got broken into a couple times. Even with metal gates on, again, that can happen in America. Okay? But the point of the fact is, Pan-Africanism is essentially dead. We thought we had friends. We thought we have compadres. We thought we had brothers and sisters that are located in Caribbean and Africa. But the amount that we thought we had, family, is not the amount that we have. We have very few who ride and connect with Black Americans. We have very few. Very, 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 very few. And here's another thing that I just want to point out. I want you to look at some of these coons, whether they be domestic coons or international coons from these other countries. Do your history on them. Right? So here's the thing. Why are women and men from Jamaica, and I'm just pointing out that one country because I visit there, using a lot of lightning cream? Why are they putting a lot of lightning cream on it? And then when they come over here to America, they have Black contempt. Why do you want to lighten your skin? See, these are things that you need to ask yourself, that everybody that looks like me is not for me. These are the things that you need to understand. And if you're not understanding these things, family, that when you go and vote, and a lot of you voted, and I said, hey, listen, I'm apolitical, meaning I don't belong to any political party, because at the end of the freaking day, what has voting got you? Oh, well, our ancestors died for us to vote. No. They did not die for you to vote. If anything, they died for you to right to vote or not to vote. They fought and died for you the right to vote or not to vote. Stop saying that your ancestors died for you to vote. I spoke to a good buddy of mine, won't say his name. I said, hey man, why you vote for Joe Biden? Just, two brothers talking. Oh man, I voted for Joe Biden because Donald Trump is racist. And I said, Joe Biden not racist? You mean to tell me you got two white supremacists on the same white supremacy bird? You have a right wing and left wing. They both, then he said, hey, do you believe in forgiveness? I'm like, yeah, I believe in forgiveness. So how long are we going to contribute and not forgive Joe Biden what he done? Well, in that case, why you are not forgiving Donald Trump? Well, okay. Let's make it plain and simple. What has Donald Trump said racist in office? Anybody? What did Donald Trump say racist in office? What has he said? Somebody inform me. Maybe I'm not up on game. Someone please inform me. What policies did Donald Trump put in place that solely affected black people? Don't worry, I'll wait. Oh, putting up the wall, that had nothing to do with black people. You got some Mexican friends? Okay, cool. I understand. But it was about putting up the freaking wall. Because we're the most powerful country in the world. And when I go to other countries in the world, guess what they have? They have borders. They have actual borders that you can't cross. You can't just go across a river or a lake or walk across and be in the country. No. You have to go through some sort of border crossing. You have to actually hike up in the mountains to get inside the country if you survive. Am I a Donald Trump supporter? Hell no. I told you I'm apolitical. But see, here's the thing about the internet and social media. People will take what you say out of context, take a little clip and like, oh, look what he said. That's the problem with us, family. That is a problem with us. That we don't understand the undermine. Go out. I want to know if you voted for Joe Biden, what did it get you? Where did it get you? I have nothing against Joe Biden. He's doing exactly what he said he was going to do for black people. Absolutely nothing. He said, Joe Biden said that the African American community stood up for him and had his back. No, he stood up for him and voted for him, and he's going to have our back. Can anybody please tell me where Joe Biden had your back? Can you tell me, please? I want to be informed. When has Joe Biden had your back? 87% of black people voted for Joe Biden, and he knew we were the one group that put him in. Because guess what Hispanics did? A lot of Hispanics voted Republican because a lot of Hispanics are in business. They're like, no, Donald Trump is actually better. I know you want to put a wall up, but I'm already in America. That's the only people. They're like, I got some family members over there, but there are some programs in America I can use with my business and give them a work visa. See, this is the information you don't know. Why do Hispanics mostly vote for Donald Trump? Because most of them have businesses and they know they can give, one of them are probably American citizens who is in charge of the business or the business is in their name, and they can do what the Indians do, the East Indians do, and give them work visas and school visas to come over here. And once they over here, they just stay over here. Go ahead. You voted for Joe Biden because you didn't think he was racist. Okay. What about that Asian hate bill? Huh? Remember that executive order, that Asian? But how many times have you seen videos of our women getting their ass whooped in these hair shops and nail shops when they don't get proper service. They lock the door on them. Not just the men are whooping their ass, but the women are whooping their ass. And then the other black women in the nail shop don't even help. They don't even help, family. Pan-Africanism is dead. Pan-Africanism is dead. We got to be on call with one another. How we are allowing these things to happen, that's because you're being fooled by the content that you consistently listen to. So your mind is not a free mind. Believe me, you are voting, you are acting, you are programmed to be in a certain form, and you are doing exactly what the program was designed for. You're doing exactly what the program has been designed for. You are walking and talking in your brainwashing and your programming. Because the only thing you do is sit up there and watch CNN and MSNBC, and anytime you want to hate, you turn to Fox News, because they already know majority of black people in America are Democrats. Where you should be apolitical, meaning you should not be political at all, because where has it gotten you? So we like to do these very anecdotal examples. Well, the reason why I vote Democrat is because universal health care. Okay, how does universal health care help black people? And here's another question. How has it helped black people? I go to every major city in America, and I see that the percentage of black people that are homeless are more so than anybody else. And for you to operate in a universal healthcare system, guess what? You got to have a damn job. But you can't have a damn job. You can't have a damn job because you have psychological problems. Why is the black community, we have the most psychological problems? Are we just predetermined, pre-positioned to have psychological problems? No, we're not. It's the trauma and things that you go to, which brings me back to Joe Biden with the 1994 crime bill that everybody just wants to forget. Everybody just wants to forgive. But let me tell you that your grandfather and your father was a victim of that crime bill. Was a victim of that crime bill. You know why that only out of one out of four black women will marry in their lifetime? It's because of the 1994 crime bill. Because during that time, there was a lack of men in the community, and women had to pull themselves up by their bootstraps in order to take care of their children. And in taking care of their children, they start to teach their women, go out, get an education, do good for yourself, etc., etc., etc. But if there were men in the community, there was meant to be, before that damn crime bill, before crack cocaine and cocaine was introduced into the black community, guess what? They would have told her, go out there and find you a good man, he'll take care of you. I have friends today that have been married 30 years. The man is still the breadwinner. His wife still has a career that she wants. But these are the issues, family, that we don't do a correct correlation. See, everybody like, oh, don't talk about history. Don't talk about this. Don't talk about that. We're talking about present day. No. There is a connection. You need to understand history. You need to understand how things are connected and disconnected. There's a cause and effect. There's a cause and effect. So if you don't think that crime bill did more than just lock up a lot of black men, no, it's done more. It's done much more than that. Because if you take men out the home, now our women don't have protection. And then the men that you let stay and you push crack cocaine. Now, granted, we have to take some ownership. Don't get me wrong. They didn't have to peddle that poison inside of our neighborhoods. They didn't have to peddle that poison inside of our neighborhoods? No, they didn't have to do that. But they figure, shit, it's fast money. I can't really get a good job. And then we start to glorify that. We start to glorify that culture that was put upon us. So don't get me wrong. We can't blame everything on the white man. No. I'll be a fool to say so. We have to take some self-responsibility. But the cause of it, that's what we need to understand. If you don't understand what the 1994 crime bill has done to our community, of taking men outside the home, which takes protections outside the home, which leaving certain individuals on the street, the lower class of us, you want to understand the heightened violence in Black communities, that the standard of living in the Black communities have fallen because of those men being incarcerated. I mean, people were getting locked up in the Black community for having a dime bag of weed. A dime bag. You got life. People were getting pulled over, locked up for jaywalking. They were going 5 miles per hour over the speed limit. Oh, that's the third time you didn't speed. That's 10 years in jail. If you listen to what Joe Biden said when he was putting his crime bill through, he actually said out of his own mouth, we're doing, if they say that Democrats are soft on crime, in this crime bill, we're doing everything except lynching people. That's what he said. And here's another thing. When I take the two volatile statements of Donald Trump and Joe Biden and I compare them, one makes sense, the other one is racist. Let me give you an example. Joe Biden says, if you don't vote for me, you're not Black. And then a story comes out saying that his ancestors, and I won't judge somebody by their ancestors, but they say that his ancestors had slaves. And then I hear a statement that if you don't vote for me, you're not Black. That's what Joe Biden said. You heard him say it. He said that when he was when Charlemagne the God was interviewing him. Then I take what Donald Trump said. He was talking to the Black community. He said, I'm a paraphrase. I don't know the exact thing he said, but basically he said, how bad can it get? How worse can it get voting for me? Well, nobody has done nothing for you. Okay? But I can tell you this. Under Obama, I never heard so many Black people say versus Trump that my stock portfolio is looking a lot better under Trump than it was Obama. And I see there's a lot of things in politics that you guys tune in to one or two channels. You look at your CNN, you look at your MSNBC, but you guys don't look at Black media, right? These guys who are telling you the truth. That's what you should be looking at. Because that's where the truth is. And I always like to promote these brothers. I'm in no connection with them. But you got TD Hip Hop Media, good source. You got Tariq Nasheed, Tariq Radio. You got Philip Scott with the African Diaspora. You have Professor Black Truth. And you got Jason Black. There's some other ones, but those are the main ones. But you tune in to CNN, they just giving you Democratic talking points. They make you demonize. They make you subjugate. They make you put down your own people, but not telling you that the people who are speaking against you that look like you are not for you. They're not for you. If you guys go and you look up, was it the governor race, Larry Elders versus the guy Newsom out of California? Look at some of the video clips that Larry Elders was talking about and tell me, is he for Black people? And then people will say, oh, it's not, they're not just for Black people. They're for all the people. I get that. But every group they'll talk to and say, this is what I'm going to do for your community. But when it comes to us, they want to give you cash fish nuggets. Yeah. They want to give you butter biscuits, cash fish nuggets and water cornbread. That's what they want to do for you. I'm just saying. If I'm lying, then go research it and debunk what I'm saying. But I guarantee you're going to be smacking your own self in the face. I guarantee that. I'm just tired of it. I am really tired of it that our people, for one, the one thing that I know that I'm good in, or somewhat, investing, finances. We want to be entertained. We want to go on TikTok. We want to go on Instagram and look at pictures and be entertained all day. So when somebody talk about some money, you want to know how you can get free money. You want to know how you can get free cash fish nuggets. You want to see how you can get a free meal. No, you have to work. You have to work. Nobody wants to put in work. Everybody wants a handout. No, you have to work. You have to learn your trade, be certified, get a license, or do the work, start a business, do something. Nothing is free. If you want to be free, let me tell you something. If you want free, then you are already assisting in the system of of slavery. Because when Joe Biden, with that 1994 crime bill, extracted and took those black men out of their homes, what occurred? The welfare system boomed. Where did all that money go to? Food stamps. Now we got EBT. See, that's the thing. It's kind of like EBT, food stamps, welfare. It's like crack cocaine. Let me continue to feed you this to keep you supported on the system. Because now the system is your husband. Oh, no, I don't want to get married because if I get married, they're going to take away my money. What you mean take away your money? Well, he works and he makes fairly good money, but we're better if we just stay together and not get married because you want to depend on the system. Yeah, this is like my reparations. No, it's not like your reparations. It's like modern day slavery. The system is taking care of you, and you live in a drug-infested, low-down, roach-infested neighborhood. Because everybody has a lower class. And the problem is that in the black community, our lower class, all of them are not lower class. Some of them have dignity and pride. They're motivated, but they just live in these neighborhoods. So guess what? They get stereotyped. This is a problem, family. The power of investing, where you're investing your money. Come on, bro. Where you're investing your time, your energy, and your money at. That's what I want to know. That is what I want to know. You guys need to understand what's going on in this world. And if the only thing you're going to listen to is the news that you subscribe to because they speak towards your feelings, then we as a people, we as a race has already failed.